Hi everyone, how are you doing? Guess what? I want to tell you today a secret. And the secret is that you have the power of choice. Okay, now you're going to tell me that you know that. But how about knowing that in the entire world, you are the greatest decider and much more? We have 700 muscles, and the strongest muscle is in our mind. Well, my beautiful and amazing guest is smiling because these are not my words. She also says that I am strong enough, I am good enough. Amie Barsky, she's our guest today. She's not just a coach, she is an entrepreneur, self-development thought leader, a certified healthy habits and empowerment coach. You have to help me there. I don't eat healthy enough. And creator of the shift method. So welcome Amie Barsky all the way from United States, and glad to have you with us.
And
hello,
California.
How are you?
Hi, thank you for having me. Yes.
Thank you for being with me, and
Of course.
it's so amazing, and I was looking forward for this interview because I know that, guys, she talks about the thing that we go through every day, which is anxiety, depression, and fear. And I'm gonna let her tell you, not, of course, she's not gonna tell us the whole course, but she's going to help my audience because she loves us, right? You do, right? Come on.
Of
Say
course.
hello to everyone.
Hi, everyone, and good to see you. My name is Amie Barsky, and I'm a freedom coach, an empowerment coach, and my ultimate goal is to be of service as much as I can to anyone and everyone. If I can touch as many lives as possible, to open up our hearts, our minds, and our eyes to understand that we have the power of choice, and it is our greatest power, and every single thing that we say and think and do hopefully is coming from a conscious awareness, even though we are definitely programmed to our subconscious mind that, generally you're functioning 98% of the time on programming that you don't even know, right? You're breathing, your heart's going, your blood's flowing, like all of that is subconscious stuff. You don't think about how to tie your shoes, you just do, right? You don't think about how to chew your food, you just do. And that's subconscious stuff. So I'm talking about understanding that okay, first off, everyone has anxiety, some level of anxiety. It comes with the world we live in. We live in a very high octane world. We want to get stuff done. We want to be high achievers. We want to have approval and feel attention, appreciated, and all of that. And sometimes with that, we wrap ourselves in this limiting belief of, oh, well, I don't deserve that, or I'm not good enough, or I'm not lovable. Those are like really big trigger or commands that we often tell ourselves. And
excuse me, but I want to see this thing. A lot of people do that, but does it come because they are not self-confident, or because of people around them make them feel like that?
Well, what happens is, so from the time you are conceived, like literally it starts then, from about 9 years old, you are programmed. Whoa. You're already programmed to learn how to deal with relationships, communication, what is healthy food, how to handle experiences in life, because it comes from your culture, your environment, your family, your circumstance, and your situation that at that age, you probably don't have a whole lot of control around, right? Mm-hmm. Someone's raising you and telling you to practice this religion or eat this food or, bathe this way or cook your eggs this way. So if you're taught that way, then you might not know any other way. And in that belief system, there might come something where you had an experience, and we call it trauma. Like, say you had an experience, maybe your mom yelled at you, or your dad yelled at you.
Oh, don't go there with me. Don't go there with me. We're in the Middle East. Don't talk like that to me. I'm your mother.
Right? And so you felt like you probably felt, Natalie, that you couldn't be heard, or you weren't heard because she said, don't talk to me like that, or shut your mouth, or kids are supposed to be seen and not heard. Like we go through these experiences, and all of a sudden we're in this state of shock, which we call trauma. And we have an emotional trigger. We get upset, we get angry, we get frustrated, we feel these emotions come up. And in those moments, you make choices. And in those choices, they're probably not your highest, most a beneficial choice. At the time it was survival mode. Oh, I guess I should be quiet. I guess my emotions
No, I was
aren't.
never quiet. I yelled back. I was like, you talked to me? You took it to me? But
Awesome.
you know what's funny? Amie, I just see that how much, I mean, I see this thing which is related to fear. And when we come from there, especially when we were raised in the Middle East, you know, it's war and stuff and mentality, we are so much more, I don't want to say stronger, but as survivors, we have this thing that we're okay, we're going to be okay. But here, like, parents are like, oh, I'm sorry. I never heard my mom say sorry to me, you know. She's like, under my roof, whatever I say. But even though we're raised like that, we have ambitions and goals. So do you think maybe the two extremes also play part in the, I mean, not to be very lenient with the children also, it might just kill your self-confidence?
Well, if you think about it, your ego wants to keep you safe. Your ego knows, you know, we do this and this is safe for us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we go to this work, we go to a job, we get a paycheck, we have a 401k, we have savings, we have health insurance, and that's safe. And that's your ego saying this is safe. But sometimes perhaps the job that you're in is, you know, like killing your soul. Like you hate going to work. You don't love what you do. You feel like your boss doesn't appreciate you. Your coworkers don't appreciate you. You don't feel like you're moving forward. So your soul's job is evolution, and your ego's job is to keep you safe. So where do you go? How do you navigate that? Well, what happens for many of us is in our later adult lives, maybe like 30s or 40s, all of a sudden we're realizing, God, I really don't like my job, or I don't like what I'm doing. And plus things can change. Maybe you liked it when you started 20 years ago and now your passions have changed. Maybe your self-development has changed. You've grown, because we're meant to evolve. We're always going to be evolving at some degree or another. It just depends on how much you're working on yourself. And so our soul is saying, hey, come on over here. Let's play in this realm, you know? And your ego's going, well, this is safe. Why would you do something different? You've been doing it this way for so long. Why would you change now?
Oh,
but
so
your soul is like, please.
about,
And that's why people start to feel like, yeah, well, people start to feel like they're stuck. Oh my God, I'm stuck in this relationship. I'm stuck in this job. I'm stuck in this city, this town, this house. And they're so afraid to make that change because one, they're the fear of change, of doing something
where
new.
Should we go? Okay, where should we go? We go with the ego or the soul? What should we choose? And how do we choose?
Well, I hope you go with the soul.
I always go wherever I want to go. I don't know. I mean, like I'm a black sheep of the
right,
family.
because you're probably listening to your intuition and your excitement and your curiosity. So think about a kid on a playground. Most children, I'll say most, not all, but most, they're on the playground and they go from the swings to the the thing you climb up, to the slide, to back. They're running all around because they're so curious as to what all these incredible opportunities are. But as adults, we lose our curiosity. We're like, oh, that's scary, or I don't want to do that, or
Why? It's fear.
Yeah. So we lose curiosity in our adulthood.
Not from the logic, it comes from the ego.
Yeah.
It's not the logic.
Well, logic is embedded in ego. If you think about it, your logical mind says, oh, again, well, if I change, your logic will go, okay, if I change careers, do I have to go back to school and go get an education, which means student loans, which means no work, which means, whatever that means to you, because your ego will talk you into staying safe, which is your logical mind.
So soul thing, what comes with the soul? I mean, how can you go with your soul? What can you do? I mean, how can you strengthen your decision to go with the soul? Let's get everyone with the soul. But how? She's going to tell us now. Amie!
I'm so glad you brought this up, because I was just listening to Joe Dispenza, and he's a huge, incredible teacher, influencer in this world around neuroscience.
And all our regards and respect.
Right? So neuroscience shows us, we know now that our brains, it's neuroplasticity. So you can, kind of like you can play with Play-Doh and make it any shape you want. You can make it a lion, you can make it a flower, you can make it a fish, you can make it a tree. Well, your brain is, you're able to do the same thing with your brain, with your mind. And that's why I say it's a muscle, because it does take energy and effort and exercise every day, but it is trainable. So if you're choosing, like for me, instance, I came from a very pessimistic, very little nurturing with emotions and like hugging and
You
expression
don't
of
look like
feeling.
that, pessimistic. You're so happy.
Right? Because I did that.
You're
I changed
gorgeous. You're cute. You're fun. You're amazing.
But
God is
But
everything.
if you would have met me, 15 years ago, if you told me like, oh, hey, I'm going to meet you for lunch, and now you're late, I go to the worst. Oh my God, what if she was in a car accident? Oh my God, what if she still me? Like, I think the worst because we're trained to think the worst. That's just, it's in our DNA. We probably can't even help it half the time until you wake up your conscious mind. You're firing from your subconscious. So the idea of neuroplasticity.
Let's say I come to you, I say, help me, Amy. I just want to use and train this muscle. Just a way. I mean, what can you tell to our audience? What can they do in order to find the way at least to train themselves? What can you say?
The first step I would say is start listening, start observing your thoughts. What do you spend a lot of time thinking about? Do you spend a lot of time thinking about negative things or positive things? So start observing that. Maybe even write them down. Oh my gosh, I had, and keep a note in your phone or something. And when you have these negative thoughts, ask yourself, where did that come from? Like, did I see a photo? Did I hear a song? Did I see a person? Did I have a conversation with someone? Did I see something on social media? What influenced that negative thought? Am I worried about my bills? Am I worried about my health? Am I worried about my partnership? And that's where those thoughts are stemming from. So when you can go in there and observe your thoughts and go, okay, great. I see that I am thinking negative, I don't know, we'll say 75% of the day. And I'd like to switch that. So when you catch yourself in these negative thoughts, how quickly can you flip the switch? Can you, without judgment, say, oh, wow, I'm really having a negative thought right now about, how I didn't get anything done today. I was not productive at all.
When you say, because of that, I had that, so I can solve that negative.
So we can understand where it's coming from, And so in the understanding of where those thoughts are coming from, you can then deliberately decide, A, is that relationship healthy for me? Is that experience healthy for me? And B, because sometimes our thoughts are just thoughts and they come in, we have, I think it's up to 65,000 thoughts a day. That's a lot of thoughts we're monitoring. And some of them are just thoughts like, oh yeah, I'm hungry. Oh, I should eat this for lunch or whatever, right? But the ones that keep looping, the ones that keep coming around again. Oh, I can't do that. It's too hard. Oh, I'm not good enough. You know what? I'll start dating when I lose 20 pounds.
So
I'll move when I have the money.
It's very sad because I see around a lot of women when they say, okay, when I lose 20 pounds, when I do this, when I just tell them that
you're waiting for the happiness.
You are women. Yeah. I mean, you don't have to, it's confidence, right?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And confidence, the lack of confidence creates anxiety and uncertainty and emotional overwhelm, which, like I said, all of these things are a part of your human mechanism, but at what degree? It's how you handle it. It's not, it's not playing the victim. Why did that happen to me? Why did he break up with me? Or why did she cheat on me? Or it's not the why. It's how am I going to handle this? How am I going to overcome this? How am I going to deal with this? And the first place you want to deal with it is in your mind and your heart.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing. I mean, I know how I train myself, but I think that with time that we get used to a way that we don't even know, but you're now analyzing.
Yeah.
And on the camera, I see that I have to fix my hair. That's good. Yeah. See my. I mean, you know what? I mean, it's amazing to make them laugh. Guys, we're going to have other episodes with Amie. Of course, we are going to talk a lot, and we can never get enough of you. Honestly, you're amazing. And you bring so much positive energy, Amie, and I thank you. I thank you so much because you're mixing science and you're mixing everything which is related to reality and things that you cannot touch, that they exist at the soul,
Yes, and then pouring it all into the soul, because there's no reason why we can't be a soulful person and mindful and conscious and successful, right? Why can't I be rich or be successful? Why is money and wealth and success separate from spirituality and soul work and consciousness? Why can't those two come together and really cultivate a solid relationship of having both. Why is that?
Why? Because they don't know how to use the soul, right?
Well, I feel that the way the world is going on right now, a lot of people are awakening to the idea of getting in touch with their heart and their soul and really listening and understanding what is important to me. You've got to come down to getting the distinction of your core values and your beliefs. What do you believe in? What's important to you? What are your core values? What kind of people do you surround yourself with? What kind of life do you want to live? And if you're not living that life now, why not? Asking yourself why, without judgment. Why? What's holding me back from there? And you start to navigate your way down that journey so you can clear out anything that's actually holding you back.
Wow, amazing. We cannot get enough of you, Coach Amie. So I thank you so much. And I want to say that if Amie Barsky as a coach can do it, you can do it too, guys.
Like I said,
I'd like to ask Amie to give, as a coach, the tip of the day on our show. I'm your host, Nataly Restokian. I thank you guys for being with us. And of course, if you have any questions, comments, you can write them.
Yes.
When we get back to you, and she will come back, of course. And she's going to give you the tip of the day. Coach Amie Barsky.
Thank you so much. I feel the most powerful thing you can do for yourself right now is listen. So sit and breathe and listen. Breath is the lifeline. Okay. So if we don't have breath, we don't have life. So when you focus on your breath, you oxygenate your body and you tap in to your higher intuition, your highest version of you, the most intelligent version of you, if you listen, okay? And I know sometimes, I know for me, it was like, oh, I have to sit still. But just even if you go for a walk and just focus on your breath, ground into Mother Nature, Mother Earth, and ground into creating the life you want in any area, whether it's love and relationship, money and career, or health and wellness, or even your creative expression. Look around in those areas and say, what would I like to level up? Where would I want to really level up this area of my life? And how can I do that? And I think the biggest thing you can do is just ask, why is this important to you? And that why will lead you to how you're going to create that for yourself. Whether it's working with me one-on-one as a coach, or reading a book, or listening to a podcast, or hanging out with Nataly. I mean, who knows, right?
We meet very soon when the borders is open. Canada and United States.
Travel again.
Our warm regards from Canada to the States. And thank you for being again with us. And
thank you.
Amie, I wish you a wonderful day. And thank you for the tip of the day. We will be back with you guys very soon next week. So bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.